everyone, welcome back, and today we're going to be talking about how I lost 50 pounds. A big trigger warning before we start, because it's not just for you, it's for me. Anytime I talk about weight loss, people come for me. Truth is, I think all bodies are beautiful. I think everything is beautiful. The truth is, I was extremely unhealthy. When I talk about it, I mean I was in hospitals. I had to emergency flights home. I still am very, very ill. Weight loss is this pesky thing. We all grew up with the weight loss industry, pushing low cal, all this kind of stuff at us. We grew up with those magazines with ultra skinny stars, and we all just wanted to look like them, look like these people who weren't, what's even the words, possible to look at, possible to be. I remember this episode of That's So Raven, and there was this one magazine, and there was a model on the front, and the model's like, hey, I don't even look like that because of all the photoshopping and stuff out there. But for me, losing weight wasn't about glamour. Obviously, I'm still a big girl. I'm still, a thick lady, but I thought, I've made a lot of healthier choices in my life, and I think it's time to tell you guys, because they were easy changes that I made that had really dramatic results. So before TikTok kind of happened, I didn't really have very much money, but once it did happen and I started having some money, I'm gonna tell you right now, I like to reward myself with food, and that's been dangerous. It's something that I grew up on. If something good happened, we went out for a nice dinner. That's normal. That's what normal people do. But unfortunately, I am not normal, and that didn't really work for me. So throughout my life, there were some periods where I was growing up. I was at a very tricky time in my life, puberty and stuff, and I'm going to level with you. I've never really spoken about this, and it does make me uncomfortable. But I did have a family member who had a really big issue with the fact that I didn't look like other little girls. And really, worked hard with me, was very harsh with me on my body, and I think has fully been, after talking to counselors and stuff, fully created this really vicious cycle that I have with food. I was just a short, pudgy kid. I always was. My mom got sick, it was hard to do home cooked meals. We ate out. I was a professional swimmer, but after we were done swimming, we went to Taco Bell or Burger King. It just is what it is. I was raised on Campbell casseroles and stuff like that, but that's fine for a lot of people. My brother and I grew up eating the same things, but him and I look very, very different. Genetics plays a huge role. He's tall and skinny and muscular, and I've always been short and plump. Even when I was swimming 3 times a week, I still wasn't slim. I wasn't a slim person. But this family member of mine, it was bad. I used to hide food, and I'd hide under my bed, and I'd put it in my box spring. So I was just so hungry all the time. And I think another crutch was when my mom got sick. She has multiple sclerosis. She's in a wheelchair full time. She does not deserve the life that she was given. That really hit me. And again, I found comfort in food. So food has always been a comfort when I've been going through things. So we're going to fast forward through all of that, okay? All of that to just a couple years ago. Once I had kind of, gotten a little bit of this fame and was able to afford more than bread, I was really rewarding myself with food. I was being able to, have that sustenance that I hadn't felt. I was never super poor. I owned my house, but I had a really hard time affording anything. We were super in debt. It was dark, and then Adam got sick, and the comfort that I found, again, was in food. It was in food. It has always been in food. I have always been a big girl. I've never had when I was little, I was skinny, I was healthy. I've never been her. And I think I kind of knew that it was going to catch up with me at some point, but I didn't expect it to happen so fast. In 2021, is kind of when everything really started to hit the fan. 2 months later, I kind of went back to the doctors, and I found out that I didn't have pre-diabetes. I had type 2 diabetes, not pre-diabetic, diabetic. And then I moved over to find out that I had dangerously high blood pressure. The first time that I ever actually realized that I was incredibly, incredibly ill was before I went with Sam and Colby to go to Eureka Springs, to the Crescent Hotel. And we were there, and I knew something wasn't right the night before. I could feel it in my body. My heart was pounding really hard. I wasn't anxious. I wasn't having bad nerves. I wasn't having bad time. Like it was an incredible experience. And just the year before, I had been with them going around Canada, and I was completely fine. But we were at the Crescent Hotel, and I knew something wasn't right. And in the morning, I woke up, and I had the worst headache that I had ever had. And I couldn't stop throwing up, and I had really bad pain in my shoulders and in my jaw, and I didn't know what was happening, but I was not well. Sam and Colby and Chris were incredible, and they got me on the next flight home. And it wasn't until I went home, I got into bed, I was resting. I'd been resting for half an hour without moving, and I took my blood pressure, and my blood pressure was 190/120, which is really, really bad. So monitoring my blood pressure like over a while there, we found out that it really wasn't going down. My resting heart rate was probably about 160, 150 over 100, 110, which is hypertension, which I've learned. So I knew that some changes had to be made, but I wasn't kind of being drastic about it. I ended up going back with Sam and Colby for Hell Week last year. We filmed in, I think it was August or September, when we went to the Winchester Mansion, and my heart still wasn't in check. I could only go for half of that because I was going to have the appointment for my heart, and again, I had that incredible spike because I was overexerting myself. Something that I didn't do at home because I knew I needed to like really watch what I was doing. Since then, I'm happy to say that I've been on blood pressure medication, which has controlled it to a point, but still not in a healthy range. I tend to fall between 140 and 120 over 80 to 99, 100, which isn't great. But the truth is I have diabetes, so we want to keep that lower. So now I'm going to get to the good stuff on how I lost the weight. Because when it came down to it, I went to an amazing doctor. I was having a lot of trouble kind of with the healthcare system. So I finally went to someone. I said, I need everything. And they did everything. And after doing all my blood work and stuff, we found out that I was very, very sick. Pretty much this doctor, amazingly compassionate. And I want to say, like, this was not a fitness person doctor. Like, that's not what this was. But she sat with me and she just said, you have a year to turn this around. You have a year to turn this around, or else you're going to have long lasting effects from what's going on with your body. And what it looked like and in the past was weight has been an issue. My grandmother was the same height as me, and she was 90 pounds, and she was very healthy. And I think that my frame and my organs are built for someone who is not the size that I am. So back Eureka Springs times, I was kind of around my heaviest weight. You will see me in the picture here. I was 238, 239 pounds. And today here I am 189 pounds, and I'm 5'2.5", if that puts in perspective. And I really hold, my weight in my stomach. It sticks out farther than my butt. I'm not going to lie to you guys, which is also a hard thing. I have PCOS. It's something that made me insulin resistant, something that really kind of pushed forward the type 2 diabetes that I do have. Holding the weight here, it kind of knocked my hormones off. Everything in my body was completely wrong. So for me, I had a hard time. I was doing everything I could to still satiate myself because I was so hungry. And I know some people are going to bring up Ozempic. If you've seen my video here, that was about the couple months that I was on Ozempic. I never lost weight on Ozempic. I'm lying. I lost 3 pounds on Ozempic. But it was probably one of the biggest mistakes that I've made in my health journey. For me, for some people, it has worked absolute wonders. And for them, I am forever happy for you. For me, possibly because I was ill in so many other ways, it affected me so negatively that I am still living with the effects of it now. And I had to go to a counselor who said that she also has been blown away by the amount of people who had to start going to counseling also because of the after effects of Ozempic, which for me is doom anxiety, life-ending doom anxiety that I get periodically. It messes with my hormones. That's what Ozempic does. It affects the hormones in your brain for the most part. A hormone. And now with my menstrual cycle, when I get close, I finally found out a name for it a while ago. It was PMDD. I get an anxiety that I almost like can't live with. So that's kind of been a new thing to tackle. So not fun. But for me, I was trying to do everything I could to satiate the hunger and satiate everything that I was feeling. And I was, having those zero sugar stuff. By the way, I'm allergic to caffeine. I know. So zero sugar drink squeezies, like no sugar added, like all these things with xylitol and stevia, and everything was still messing with me. And it was making my diabetes act very strange, because I'm a high sugar person. I don't really have the hypoglycemia of the low sugars at all. It wasn't working well. I was trying to eat tons of vegetables. I was eating oats. I was eating wheats. I was doing everything that I could, and nothing was working for my body. Nothing was working. Nothing was making me feel better. Nothing was making me feel more sane. Nothing was helping me at all. So finally I figured it out. I started kind of listening to my husband, who had been telling me for years, but of course I need to hear it from somebody else. But I started doing a lot of research, and there is a lot of controversy about this because there isn't as much science. But from what I've learned and the people that I've spoken to, what I have decided to do has been absolutely life-altering, changing for me. More so than the fact that it is so nutrient-based for me that I no longer crave the sweets. I no longer crave the things that made me happy, and it's changed my relationship with food. And that is eating primarily carnivore. So for me, eating a steak or a beef or the fast fry steaks, which a lot of people are going to come and say, like, this is too much money. There are like fast fry steaks and stuff that are $1 something, $2 at the place. Like buying, really bulk ground beef and cutting it down and freezing it is a way to really kind of save money towards it. Because sometimes, like, damn, meat is cheaper than vegetables. Like I understand the struggle of eating healthy. Like when you can get this microwave dinner for $1, but you want to buy, some meat and some this, and you're at $70. That doesn't make it possible. But it's more like watching sales and trying to do it. But I have been eating carnivore for the most part when I feel super, super hungry. I have some soaked nuts. I enjoy greens. Not that they're the best to go with this diet, but like I'll have lettuce wrapped taco meat and stuff like that, because I will lose my mind because I need flavor. Adam's incredible. He can just eat a steak once or twice a day and be feeling pretty good. But it was crazy to get used to it, and I felt shitty for a couple days. But for the first time in my life, I was full. I was sleeping better. I was waking up better. My body didn't hurt. And the most incredible part of all of it is I now have completely normal blood sugar. I know if I were to eat something sugar, I probably would spike, but in time that might not happen. But before, it didn't matter what I ate. If it was like a starchy green, anything that could turn into sugar in your body was sending me off the charts. I had the littlest bit of rice and my sugar shot up to like 17, which is absolutely terrible. But now when I'm eating meat, I want to back it up here because I know people are going to have a lot of conversations and want to say that what I'm doing is wrong. But I ordered a bunch of stuff because, again, these are things I understand that other people can't afford, and I feel so lucky that I can. But on Amazon for like $35, I found these strips that I can pee on, and it tells me what I'm deficient in, what I'm doing well in, what I'm doing, all of this stuff. And before I started this diet, I was deficient in all of these things and too much of these other things. And once I started, doing this, I don't want to call it a diet. I don't. I feel like it's like a lifestyle change. Everything is better. Everything is better. Everything is in the ranges that it should be in. My blood pressure has been lower. Still not great, but lower. And I know that the next part of that is like exercising. I work so much that I find it hard to do it, but I just need to find the time to strengthen my heart. But for me, I changed it. So the only thing that I drink is water, or I'll have tea. The best tea in the whole world is Cold 911 by David's Tea. It's incredible. It doesn't have any caffeine, but I feel like it gets things moving in my body. Not only that, TMI, I've never had like a solid bowel movement. Like never, especially since I got my gallbladder out, and now my body is starting to act like normal again. So for me, things started to really fall off. I've moved in being much more strict in the past month, and that's where I saw a really good big change. But I've been trying and fighting to stay on this diet for about the last 5 months, and that's where I've seen a lot of my body change. I stopped taking Ozempic in April or May. That's kind of when I started fighting to be on this diet, making better choices, only drinking water, sleeping more, and honestly finding ways to kind of de-stress a little bit, taking time for myself. And I've noticed such a change in my body. So that photo that you saw, I compare it with this photo. And I know you're probably thinking, well, your face looks so different. And I want to be very honest with you. Yes, I did lose some weight. The biggest things that I've noticed are my chin. And I know you're seeing that double chin. You're like, yeah, that's a big double chin. What you don't understand is my neck used to go like this. And I would work so hard. I would work so hard to hide it. Or see what I do this? It used to poof, like it used to come down. And then I had this one. And then I had a second one. And it would lay on my chest. And since then, I've stopped snoring. I've stopped having so many issues. But again, this photo, boop, your face looks different. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I do get Botox and I do get fillers. And I'm going to tell you what I shoot in my face, okay? Right now, actually, Botox it's worn out. It really is for the most part. My lips, they never really went down, so I feel lucky. That's like not an expensive upkeep for me. I probably do it every 4 to 8 months. Again, something I understand a lot of people can't afford. But I am one of those people where I do like me. I did like me, but I wanted to try some things to see if I could give myself a little bit more self-confidence. And honestly, it doesn't last forever. So it's been probably one of the best decisions that I've ever made because it did give me the self-confidence to be more myself. And I know that's silly and that's not a message to teach little kids, but I waited till I was, late in my 20s to start doing this, and I wouldn't change it for the world. But I'll tell you what I shoot in my face. I get stuff here. I get a brow lift. I actually don't have any crow's feet, but we still do a shot in there. I get one in my chin so it doesn't do the dimply thing. And then for filler, I've had filler in my lips. And then like a year ago, I had filler under my eyes. It's gone now though. Truth is, I give myself facial massages a lot, and I really think that's what's changed the shape of my face. It's like really trying to move things through the lymph nodes in here. I know this video has kind of been all over the place, but the truth is, everyone has things that are going to work differently for them. But I am someone who has tried it all. I've tried all of it. I've tried every diet, every fad. I've drank the drinks that make you poop your brains out. Like I've done all of them. And I've finally done something that was so absolutely life-changing for myself that I can't not share with you guys. But that is how I have lost about 50 pounds in the last year and a half, and kind of about my health. I know I do these sit-down videos every once in a while, but I wouldn't do it unless I thought it was important. The world is hard. Obesity is a leading killer. I'm obese. It's crazy to lose 50 pounds and still on the medical chart be considered morbidly obese. Like yesterday I was buying medium and large shirts, which is bananas for me, and I've never experienced that. But I'm a big girl. I'll back it up. I don't care. I'm not like I know you don't have anyone to put me beside, but I'm 189 pounds and I'm 5'2". So you put me beside like my best friends or stuff like that, you'd be like, oh yeah. Obviously you're looking at me right now, but I'm not well. And I'm on my journey to being well. I was really not well. Now I'm just like not well, but hopefully by my birthday, February, I will be able to say I'm like off some medications, which would be so incredible. Cause when you get sick, I don't want to cry. I got so sick in the midst of rising on these social media platforms, and the health anxiety that I live with it's incredible. Like, it is life-altering anxiety. Like, I have to spend so many times a day checking my blood sugars and checking my blood pressure, and okay, if something's not right, I know this happened when I felt this way that time. Like, we have to go to the hospital. Like, it's terrifying, and I just want to create for you guys, and I want 2024 to be my year. I really want it to be my year. I want to blow you guys out of the water, and I just need to take care of myself to get there. That's kind of why I've been a little absent on social media. I've been dealing with a lot of stuff in my personal life, a lot, and I'm trying to get all that stuff settled with family and stuff. And I just really hope that I can really impress you guys in 2024. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. But I just want to be a break for you guys. I want you guys to come and hang out and feel some peace and some happiness. So I love you. Until next time, you're beautiful, and do what's right for you, okay? Bye.